To make sure we get clearance here. Testing audio. Your sound and video is good.
It's good.
Trinity.
Okay.
And it okay, there we go. We are live here. And folks, welcome to the Ripple Effect today. I'm just gonna share this new broadcast more broadly. My name's David, and Erica's actually traveling today, so she's not going to be with us. But did want to the show must go on, as they say, and we have a special guest today, Srinika Narayan, and please correct me if I'm not. Your
Oh, that was
name's a little
right.
challenging.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little better, but great to have you. And I have we've actually done some work together in terms of I've learned more about what you do by you giving me some running some tests and some treatments, and we've also done some videos. So it's great to learn more about your practice and I'm really just a big believer in you and what you do. As we'll see, it's really a kind of a I would say would be kind of a magical thing for a
Mhm.
lot of people who have an issue and can go to you versus somewhere else that they may not have been able to get that issue addressed. And you're a licensed acupuncturist and practitioner of integrative Chinese medicine, serving clients since 2002, as well as as well as a practitioner of nutritional analysis and applied kinesi, kine, kine, I
Kinesiology.
pronounced it
Yes.
to myself earlier, but
Uh-huh.
I'm going to leave since 2010. And you're located in the lower Rockridge area of Oakland, so um, which I thought might be Berkeley, but it's pretty close to the border
Yeah.
there.
It's so close to the border, right?
Yeah, yeah, beautiful clinic there. But if there's anything I left out of your bio, feel free to um, add to it. But just tell us a little bit about your story um, and how you serve your clients.
Yeah, sure. I started out as an acupuncturist, and I graduated in 2002 and started working right away. And then in about 2008, I started developing a health issue myself. It was kind of this digestive issue that I was gagging in the mornings. And basically, I was kind of wondering, okay, what's going on? I went to a whole bunch of different practitioners, and nobody could figure out what it was or how to help. Then I went to someone who does the kind of work I currently do, which is applied kinesiology or muscle testing. And she figured out pretty quickly it was artificial sweetener in my diet that was creating the problem. Excuse me. So then I was kind of thinking, oh my gosh, this is total bunk because I don't have any artificial sweetener in my diet. I was already skeptical of that type of testing modality, applied kinesiology. I'd just gone because I was kind of at the end of my rope. But then when I went home, I looked at my everything I was eating and the protein powder I was doing, which I've been doing like daily for about a year, that indeed had artificial sweetener on it. So at that point, I realized, oh my gosh, she was right. And how amazing that she figured out what it was. And so, I just stopped the artificial sweetener, the problem went away, or stopped the protein powder and the problem went away. But I was amazed. I was just, kind of shocked how she figured that out by putting a few vials on me, pushing on my arm, and asking my body itself questions. So I realized at that point I had to learn this modality. So I started taking classes and practicing on my current acupuncture clients at the time and started getting good results by figuring out, hey, this is the underlying problem. So at that point, I started to branch off my practice. Some come for acupuncture, some more for the nutritional analysis, which is the applied kinesiology. And I've found very, very good results with the applied kinesiology um, with problems that are autoimmune or chronic in nature, or just things that are undiagnosable or aren't going away. This kind of method is able to find out what's actually at the root cause of these issues, which is a lot of times toxicities of various sorts. Mine was artificial sweetener. Other persons could be heavy metals. It's just there's a lot of things out there that are bothering our systems that we just don't realize are doing that until we get symptoms. So yeah, that's how I kind of branched off into nutritional analysis slash applied kinesiology.
Great. And I did want to just reiterate the station identification here. This is the ripple effect. Changed my background there. And Erica, if you're just joining us, she couldn't join us because she was traveling. But you know, I think in meeting with you and seeing what you do and how you've helped people, I think there's a big difference in that you really look for those root causes, which isn't kind of always the case in terms of traditional medicine. I find that to be a huge differentiating thing. And you actually got me to start thinking about a lot of these different things and kind of the way that you think about pinpointing certain things. So I think, it's helpful for pretty much anybody, even if you go to kind of traditional medicine, to just come give you a visit and see what you can do for them, especially if you have maybe an allergy or something is bothering you, you have some health thing that hasn't been able to be fixed or diagnosed or kind of treated sufficiently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'll move on here in that what makes you unique as a healer?
Yeah, sure. I think the method itself is pretty unusual, the applied kinesiology. There are people who practice it, but there's not a ton of people who practice it. And it's not super well known, which is interesting because it can work so well. So that itself makes me unique. And every applied kinesiologist, their approach is a little different, and they've seen different things. Um, so my slant or angle is oftentimes unique. I know I look for everyone looks for underlying causes, but what I do find a lot is toxicity being an underlying cause, and it's an underlying cause for problems for yeasts, for parasites. Some people think that yeast just comes about on its own, or parasites you can catch, or viruses you're catching. A lot of these things have an underlying cause of toxicity that's made these things proliferate quite a bit in our bodies. Um, so that is oftentimes my slant, and it is very helpful because we can then identify where did it come from or where is it coming from, and then really identify what to do to get it out and to, of course, stop exposure.
Yeah, and that's a key anecdote for what you made me think about those toxicities and really what is in our food and what is specifically in the food that I've been eating that I might want to either cut out or eliminate altogether. Because really it starts out like the default is like, oh, it's harmless. That's always what industry says. But as we've learned more about some of these things, there are kind of repercussions, and the work that you do really shows how things can be completely maybe legal in some cases, or not like
Mm-hmm.
maybe necessarily viewed as cancer causing, but they can cause other problems to your system that are really um can be you know in
Problematic,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's accumulation too, like you said, in time. Maybe a little bit here and there. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but over time, day in, day out, over years, or combined with other toxicities, yes, it can create problems. So,
Yeah, and we were gonna talk about a few other anecdotes, but another one I thought of that because I have the benefit of hearing you speak at our networking chapter is about mercury and how if people eat too much fish, that can also cause a noticeable um,
problems,
issue.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, mercury is a big cause of a lot of, big underlying cause of a lot of types of problems, autoimmune disease, nervous system issues. Sometimes it's from dental amalgams that are leaking. Oftentimes it is. That's more in the older generation, like 50 and above. For the younger generation, they're using more white fillings, the composite fillings, so those aren't an issue so much. But still, sometimes people are eating a lot of fish. They're going out to sushi quite often, or eating tuna fish sandwiches, every day. Oh yeah, that can definitely build up and create a whole slew of problems. So mercury is definitely a biggie that shows up.
Okay, great. And I know I've heard you also talk about liver, really being able to kind of cure some really serious stuff with the liver is what it sounded like. But are there any other things out there that you see commonly that people need help with or issues they're having that you can help with?
Right. I mean, people don't come in realizing it's their liver. People might come in with a skin issue or allergies or poor sleep or depression or low energy. And then I do the testing and find out, well, what is the main organ that's involved? Most of the time the liver is very involved because it's a filter in our body. It's our first filter, and so it can just get very clogged with all kinds of things. And then we don't realize that we think liver in terms of liver cirrhosis or those kind of issues, but actually the liver is responsible for skin the skin, if it starts to inflammation, it's because the liver is not digestion, like stool issues or reflux is usually a liver issue. Sleep, which you wouldn't think the liver has anything to do with it, the liver regulates sleep and kind of makes sure we actually get to sleep and stay asleep at night, basically. And the liver does a whole lot of other things too. Mood wise, if the liver is kind of clogged, it can result in very kind of depression or anger or stress kind of feeling. Hormones, liver plays a big part in hormones. Most menstrual issues have a big liver component to it. People don't realize they're just looking ovaries or uterus. Liver actually plays much more of a part in those type of issues.
Interesting, very interesting. And I just had one more question for you, and I think we'll wrap up a bit early. It is who is your ideal client out there? Who are you looking to work with? Um,
Yeah, sure. You know, I the clients who do come to me are people who have oftentimes tried other modalities. They oftentimes have an autoimmune issue that they don't want to just take meds for and manage for the rest of their lives. They don't want to, yeah, just kind of have to put up with a condition forever and ever. They want to look for what's actually causing it and how to get rid of it. So, ideal client is someone who's seeking better health and interested to know a little bit more and already knows that the kind of medical establishment doesn't have all the answers. In fact, it has very few answers, and they're already kind of realizing that and wanting to look for what is going on, and interested in bettering their health through knowledge, yeah, and empowerment.
yeah, yeah, it can be a little like politics. If you solve the problem, then that's a lot cheaper, and that hurts somebody's pocketbook. So
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The medical establishment doesn't have so much incentive to actually solve problems. They're just kind of managing problems.
yeah, and I know it does kind of run the gamut in terms of there are some things that you really need them for and that they do well, but some of these things I feel like you fill in a lot of these important gaps with stuff that is basically not done by the medical establishment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming on. And I know we have some more videos with you that we're going to get out within the next month or two, so folks can look for those. I will put the link to your website,
oh,
so
thank you,
people can get
David.
in touch with you and maybe to our video that we did about your business, just as a great little introduction. People might want to take a look at your great clinic there in Lower Rockridge, Berkeley, or
Yeah,
Berkeley, Oakland.
Oakland. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, David.
Okay, very good. Well, we're going to sign off for this session of the Ripple Effect, and we'll maybe have you back when Erica is back with us at some point next year. So,
Yep, that would be great.
okay, bye everyone.
Okay,
Thanks for joining us.